This is the Sprinter Mom with Lashes On podcast.
Hey guys, Sarah here, Sprinter Mom with Lashes On. I am so excited to be talking to you one-on-one and privately. No one is watching me. I'm in my room completely solo because I don't know, I'm weird and it's weird talking to yourself and this whole thing I'm really still adjusting to, the podcasting, but I'm doing my best. And you know what? You fake it till you make it, or you fake it, but you're actually already making it. So here I am. I just want to share a few things. One of the things about our large family is that I absolutely have to live off of my calendar. And whether we had 3 kids, 4 kids, 6 kids, or now 11 kids, 9 at home, we have always implemented a shared calendar on our phone. And so Ryan and I learned this probably 6 or 7 years ago, but we had to start using our calendars on our phone that are connected through Gmail, whatever it may be, because if I want to plan something for the kids and he has something happening, we would never know. And so now we've created a shared calendar so that anytime a kid has practice or a dentist appointment or whatever it may be, we invite each other to that so that we can at least see a big picture of what's happening in our family at that time. Because even though I've always kind of kept a calendar that I write on, whether it be on my, originally it started on my fridge, your refrigerator, like you had the magnet one or whatever it may be. And eventually I got to a point where I hate things on my fridge. And now I don't even have the chance to put something on my fridge, but I've just never been a fridge person unless it's like my fridge in the laundry room or my fridge in the garage. Like I'll hang magnets galore on those, but I've totally gotten away from that. Anyway, I've always loved a calendar that I can write on personally and like for our kids or our family to see. And the thing is, Ryan, my husband, has literally never looked up at the calendar. And so one of the things that saved us is absolutely being to look at his phone where he has all his work stuff anyway and be able to see like what our family is up to. I've also found that it's a way for me to send him an invite to say, Sarah at Maritza's birthday dinner, ? And then I know whether he accepts it or declines it. It's like, okay, that night is the night that I'm going to go out and celebrate my friend's birthday. Or if I'm getting my nails done and it's a Saturday morning, which is rare because I try to fit all my bougie appointments in while the kids are in school and Ryan's at work, so that it doesn't affect family time. But say something comes up and Saturday morning I have a plan to get my nails done and maybe I'm taking Brooklyn with me, I will send that on the calendar so that Ryan can see he's on duty at home Saturday morning. So regardless, the phone has worked. It's nice to share, but that doesn't mean that I don't like writing stuff down. I love writing stuff down. I love to-do lists. I love all that. So one of the things I've done pretty much every year is always have a calendar that I can write in. And the good thing about my calendar with having like which you can see right here, I write a lot of things in it. Having a glance at my months, but then also when it comes to certain days and times, I'm able to take notes as things come up. So when I am at the school's parent meeting and there are things that I should be looking for that are coming up in the calendar or notes to take, I take notes. When I go to a doctor's appointment for one of the kiddos and I have to take notes so that I can let the social worker know, I write them down in here. When I'm planning our Christmas gifts, they're all written down per kid. Birthday parties, all of those things are written down in my calendar so that I can keep a mental tab outside of like the calendar that I share with my husband and with our nanny and assistant Rachel. Because we all have a shared calendar. But the funny thing is that I always find these calendars and I'm like, oh, it's 2024. It's great. It's from July of 2023 all through 2024. Here are my wedding notes that I have in here. Lots of things. But as the year closes out, I always want to refresh my calendar. And specifically this year, it was funny when Ryan and I were sitting and chatting about our 2023, there were so many amazing, great things that happened, and also so many very hard days. And sometimes I have notes in here from those hard days. And I was recently just interviewing and chatting with my best friend, Ashley, and she was talking about the marriage group that she attends and marriage counseling that her and her husband had gone to. And it's interesting, life can be really good and flowing just fine, kids and all. But sometimes when you get these outside pressures, like losing a job or health issues or whatever it may be, it's that's when you start to see maybe some gaps in your marriage that could use work. For us this year, we were reminiscing about 2023, and we know that our year started with deciding that we were going to move in a sibling set of 5 to our house and basically foster to adopt them. And with that came immediately going home and working on our house to sell our home, immediately looking for a house that would fit all of those kids. In construction, once we found the home, getting it ready for us to live in and for babies to be walking around without a ton of steps and dangerous corners. And so anyway, our year was a lot of work. It started out as a lot of work, and then transitioning the kids into the mix of things. And as we have these great vacations and we enjoy each other and we spend time together, but it doesn't mean that when we're home, there are so many outside pressures or pressures that are coming from growing your family overnight, from 4 kids in the home to 9 kids in the home. Lots of gaps started to come up. And Ryan and I had some really dark days with each other. And so this year, my calendar also has a lot of notes from therapy in it. And thank goodness I was already in therapy. But after we took a trip in, I think it was June, to Rocky Point, and we had another kind of big collapse in our communication and in marriage within itself. And so we started seeing a marriage therapist. And again, I have notes in here from that as well that I reflect on. And it's been so good for our marriage, but there were just some really dark days and sad days and heavy days of knowing we're in this together. We love each other so much. We will do anything to make our marriage work and to serve God and to serve our kids. But we have to be healthy with each other. We have to be on the same page. We have to be on each other's team. And so we've learned a lot this year. And when I was looking at this calendar and I started writing things in for January, but then I would go through pages of notes I had taken, I was like, I don't want to look at this anymore. I am done with 2023. And so I got a cute little new guy that I'm just going to start fresh. Instead of doing a July of the previous year through the next year, I'm just going to start fresh with a January of 2024 because, you always see the highlights on Instagram and social media and different things. And specifically recently, we literally our daughter's wedding was amazing. But what people don't know is that 2 weeks before it was canceled. And so again, we've had some dark times and calls to our therapists and things we've had to work through and write out. And I'm like, I want to keep this fresh for 2024 so that I'm not sitting and reflecting on the past crap. And you always have to be thankful for the past crap, because everything for Ryan and I, we learned so much. And this was the first time we married off a kid, and not just our kid, but our kid that has so much background and story and blends of families. And we learn from each experience, but it doesn't mean that it wasn't really crappy in the moment. And one day I'll have to have my daughter on to talk about it, because we're able to talk and communicate. But before we have some of those hard conversations, we have some very sad days, and we kind of sit in those sad days. And so I'm not really good at sitting in the discomfort. I'm trying to work on that this year of 2024, and just knowing that some days are going to be hard, and some days are really chaotic. But our life is good. Our kids are good. They're involved. And just because my anxiety creeps in, or the calendar itself is too much for me, it doesn't mean that we can't keep going and living life and planning the things and doing good stuff. So anyway, that's just a little something about my calendar, a fresh calendar start for the year. I'm still able to go back in my phone calendar and see appointments when people ask, because we still have social workers around, and hopefully that's ending soon. However, when I write out stuff, I want a fresh start with fresh papers. And I take pictures of the notes that I know I need to keep, or graphs that maybe my therapist has showed me that really help me understand my brain or how things work. And so I take pictures of those and keep them. But the rest of it is being tossed.
Thanks for joining us today for the Sprinter Mom with Lashes On podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a review. We'll see you next week.